friends, my name is Kim. Welcome back to Healing Place Cottage. Welcome back to my kitchen. I'm so happy to have you with me today. Today we're going to make a recipe from the Weight Watchers Make It in Minutes cookbook, 15, 20, and 30-minute recipes. And so far you can see I've found several that I like. This recipe is a Mediterranean omelet found on page 24. If you are a points watcher, it's only 2 points. It's very low in all of the things that we look at. 2 grams of fat, 2 milligrams of cholesterol, 6 grams of carbohydrates, 1 gram of fiber, 97 calories, and 14 grams of protein. So I think this is a great breakfast for us to try. I've gone ahead and gotten my skillet heating up, and I'm going to go ahead and put some butter in there. And while that is happening, I will crack my egg. So it calls for egg substitute. I don't use egg substitute. It calls for a cup of egg substitute, so I'm using 4 eggs. I'm all about using whatever whole ingredients we can use whenever possible. So we'll go ahead and mix this, combine this up. I don't believe, well, I believe I'll need a little bit of water in my eggs. And in a separate bowl, we're going to get our other ingredients ready. So it calls for a 1/2 cup of chopped tomato. My tomatoes are sprouting, so I am actually just cutting the outside portion. It's not that you can't eat the sprouts. My family does, but I texturally do not like that. So, and that just means that your tomatoes are getting older. That's when they start sprouting. So it calls for 1/2 cup of chopped tomato, 2 tablespoons of chopped onion. Since we're not cooking this, I want to make sure that this is diced very finely. And it looks like I am ready to start putting my egg mixture in my pan. So I will go ahead and do that. And I'll turn this down a bit. It says to go ahead and stir up a little. I am doing that because I want to make sure that this doesn't call to flip it or to put it in the oven. And I can't imagine that this top layer is going to be all that done. So I want to make sure that I get that as done as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and cut just a little bit of onion. I think that's enough. And we'll dice that as finely as we can get it. And actually, we might be, that might be enough right there. So I'm just moving the side over to let my omelet or my egg mixture go down where it is still runny. I still can't imagine this not flipping it. I am not a fan of any portion of runny egg. I was in the Army and in basic training. The eggs are very runny, probably because they're powdered eggs. I'm not sure. But I always wipe them off with a napkin. That's probably disgusting to tell. But it really, I'm not a fan of runny eggs. So I just want to make sure that we've got all of that. I'm actually going to try and flip this. My omelets typically turn into a scrambled eggs because of this. And yep, pretty close. This. If I'm nothing else, I'm a real world cook, which means you get to see it the way it really is. Okay, so we have our onions. We want 3 pitted Kalamata olives, and mine are already chopped, or they're already sliced, so we're just going to chop those. Add that to our mixture. It calls for chopped fresh basil, which I don't have. It calls for a teaspoon of balsamic vinegar. There we go. It calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper. And it tells us to go ahead and put a tablespoon of grated Parmesan cheese on one side of the omelet. And to go ahead and mix up our mixture of our tomatoes, our onions, and our balsamic vinegar. This does make 2 servings. So we're going to go ahead and add our tomato mixture. And then we're going to flip over our omelet. So it is broken, but I don't think it hurts anything. I would serve myself the broken piece. And serve my guests the other piece. Turn that off. And you can see it looks delicious. So we'll go ahead and take a bite. It's hot. It's very fresh. I think because we didn't cook the vegetables and because that balsamic brings out a brightness. But it's very fresh tasting, very good. Not bad at all, and this will be a great breakfast on a Saturday morning. It's snowing here in the Dayton, Ohio area, and so it'll be nice to just curl up by the fire and have a little bit of our omelet and Mediterranean omelet, and I think it's a win. So if you like this recipe, give it a thumbs up. If you're following me on TikTok, don't forget to go over to YouTube and look me up as HealingPlaceCottage. I make longer videos there. Take care, everyone, and I hope to cook with you again soon.